Welcome back to West Texas View.
We're talking with Dr. Cola about obesity in children. And you said that about 30% of your patients in both New Jersey, when you were practicing there, and then in Texas, have been 25 to 30% have been overweight. And that is a significant percentage. And you also said before the break that you usually noticed with these overweight children that their parents were overweight. And let's talk a little bit about the role of parents in this, because all of us say how much we love our children, but the most loving thing you can do to yourself or to them is to help steer them to a fit body.
That's true. I agree with it. I agree with every word of it, because children are raised in both ways. One is the nature, other one is the nurture. So nurture has a very significant role how they become into good human beings. So parents are the role model for the kids. So kids do imitate them in every walk of life. And only after a certain age do they see that they are different. But I guess in order to have a good family, the parents have to set a good example. And the research has shown that if one parent is obese, the chances of the child becoming obese is about 30 to 40%, and the number significantly raises if both the parents, mom and dad, are obese too. So when I see them, they walk in it. I just want, as a pediatrician, and I guess most of my pediatric colleagues would agree with it, that when parents want to know more about obesity or overweight or just about weight, I want them to come with an open mind. Because most of the moms and the dads are very defensive. It's like, you cannot call me this word, and I don't want you to be talking to me. But the problem here is the parents. If somebody has to be blamed, it is the parents. Because the child doesn't know what to do unless you give it to them. Like, for instance,
and provide the
Instance,
snacks.
exactly. So I say, you're not supposed to eat this, this, and this. And then the mom says, oh, you cannot eat the soda, the sweet, and all that, but I can have it. So, all right, he cannot eat it, but you eat it, that's not good. And again, the mom says, I don't eat it either, so why do you have it at home? Don't buy it for him. How does the kid have access to all this? It's because of the parent. So don't do it. If you want something for your kid to do it, you've got to encourage. The best encouragement is you do it. You follow something, you set a rule, and you set a rule for your kid too. So.
And discipline starts in young age. Yes. And usually the reason we're not disciplined when we reach parenthood is because we weren't disciplined as children.
Exactly.
And I know that it's hard for parents to change their lifestyle. But again, when they stop to think about what will happen mentally and physically to that loved child when they don't do what they need to do.
Right. This is like a vicious cycle which goes on in the house, because when a kid is overweight or obese, he gets psychologically depressed because he's not able to keep up with his other friends. So he, in a state of depression, he kind of eats more. So when you eat more, you become more weight, and then you get more depressed. So it's like a cycle which cannot be broken. And with this modern world where we're doing most of the time with iPads, iPhones, screen time, computers, laptops, I don't think kids are having enough time for physical activity. And also, when the mom and dad both have to work to make the ends meet, they hardly spend some time with the kids doing all this stuff. So that again,
or when they all are together, they're watching TV or watching a movie.
It becomes a family ritual. All sit together and watch movies. So mom starts eating chips, and so does the kid. So you are again setting another example. So whenever you do something, just think back. Is it good for my kid? If every parent thinks in that way, I guess we will have healthy children.
And another thing is to think about, if I make this bag of potato chips available, this might be the very thing that pushes that child into diabetes. Which is a lifetime sentence.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't recover from that.
Right. Oftentimes when my patients come to me, I do give them an example. I say, if you are diabetic, you got to probably end up to a stage that you give a needle yourself 3 times a day, check your blood sugars, and then give insulin, which may be once or twice a day. So is it easy for you to do this and be in a good shape or end up in diabetes. Because we're seeing increasing number of type 2 diabetes, which is supposed to be probably in 30s or 40s. We're seeing it in our teenagers. So this is becoming a serious problem.
And the thing about it is that's life or death.
Yes.
And so they can prevent this life or death
Correct.
earlier, and that's what they need to do.
It's mortality and morbidity.
Well, you talk about your patients. How do you follow your patients? Do they come to your clinic
Yes.
on scheduled appointments or
Yes,
what?
I personally want to see them because when I see an overweight child or an obese child, I sit down with them, I give them instructions of what you have to do, and then I need to see them because if they lose a track, if they lose follow-up, it becomes very easy for them to
fall off
go
the
back.
wagon.
Yes, yes. So when I see them, I set a challenge. Now you have to remember, kids are completely different like adults. Like if you see an adult, you can say, hey, this is your weight, this is the expected, go on a diet. So if I see a child who's about 4 or 5 years, I can't say go on a diet because it's really depressing for that kid. So, and I cannot say lose so many pounds. So you are 150 pounds, you have to lose 20 pounds. It's a serious thing. So I will say, okay, let's make the challenge easy. I'll see you in 3 months, don't gain a pound. Remain the same way that you are. So that becomes a little easy for the kid. Okay, I just have to control what I'm doing. So once he reaches to that point, slowly but surely, I'll make sure that he starts losing weight.
And you give him ways to do it, don't eat.
Right. And the beautiful thing about the kids is they grow in height. So when they are growing on 2 percentiles and only 1 percentile keeps up, the weight automatically falls in the track. So that way I can say, see, you are going to be a big kid, so you're growing in height vertically. So make this weight stay the same, so you are a normal child. So that becomes a little easier.
And the interesting thing about that is, don't you find that most of the children want to lose weight?
They do.
And
Definitely want
so
to lose
it's
weight.
not like, oh, I can't do this. Like the parents will say, oh, I can't do it. I've tried this before. But the kids said, tell me how. But then when they've got these bad influences at home, it's harder for them to stay on track.
Right. It's easy to turn out to be bad. So it's easy to become fat. It's very hard or difficult to lose weight and stay the same weight. So you're losing weight, that's good. But the most important thing is you have to stay on that scale. So when I talk to my parents, I tell them the best way, for instance, I would say, show me the palm of your hand. And they lift up their hand and I say, that should be the size of your plate that you eat, not the size of an adult. And 50% of that has to be veggies and fruits. The next portion is divided into 2 halves. 1 half will be meat, the other half will be carbs. So that's how you have a balanced diet. And then I always encourage them to go on water diets, so they have to drink water.
Yes.
The beauty of water, it helps you, it helps your skin, it helps your body. It's totally healthy and it's 0 calories. And it also makes you push out the bad calories, and it's a detoxant, so you have to take water.
And it makes you not as hungry.
Right,
and everything.
right. Yes, that fills your stomach too.
We're going to have to take another break, but we're going to change topics when we come back. We'll see you in just a minute after the break.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.